transition caused me lots of grief. My father, my mother, my youngest sister transitioned. But when my son passed, it was absolutely one of the hardest things I had experienced. In the space I found, I was looking for something and someone that could help. Grief is very intense. Moving through it, I learned several things, and I wanted to give back. I got through the grief. This is called Love. Show Me the Way. You are listening to Power Me Up Radio, the station with heart, powered by Raven International. And you are listening to the hostess with the mostest, EMaia, with Love, Show Me the Way. On our last episode, we talked about your purpose, that we all have one. And some of us know what it is, and some of us don't. We don't all have just one thing. Some of us do. Michael Jackson came here and he did his music, and that's what he was here for. But as he continued to move in it and it got greater and greater, he gave and gave and gave and gave and gave and gave and gave. And so this is what we do when we fulfilled our purpose to our highest, then we start giving. We start giving. One of the stories that Tony Robbins always shares is how that because he was so poor, that once he started making just a little bit of money, he wasn't famous, nobody knew him, but just his first little bit of money, he left some money at a table for a young boy and his mother and told them to eat. It was maybe $8, $9, $10, but he knew what it was to not to have a meal to eat. And then as he got a little older, maybe a year or two later, he actually fed a family. He took the food to the family because when he was a young man, around 11, 12, or 13, a family sent food to them for Thanksgiving. And it was really hard for his father to take it. He felt less than a man. But the person that came with it eventually said to him, please don't let your ego keep your family from suffering. And so he allowed the food to come in, and it was a very good Thanksgiving that would not have been because they didn't have any food in the house. And so as we become more and more and deeper into knowing not just who we are, but what we came to the planet to do, we will give out of our hearts and the bowels of our love. We will give whatever that is. I have a charity that I give to, which is called Women for Women International. And these are some women that started, I believe, in the late 1980s, early 1990s, for women that are, they are women that have suffered through wars. They're very, very, very poor. And they're teaching them to have a skill so they can feed themselves and their families. These are women that are giving out of their own love because they've been touched and now they're touching somebody else. And so this is what life is about. It's in circles. There's a circle of life. You remember the story, Lion King, the circle of life, and how we come in and we go out. And as we are here, we come with purpose and we give and we do that. And then we teach it and we model it for those that are coming after. And then we leave and then they take it up. And a lot of times they even exponentially do so much better. Right now, Tony Robbins is feeding, billions. He's gone past the millions of people he's feeding. He's going towards the billions now. And so what I'm saying is that we have that same opportunity. And it comes through energy. We talked about our purpose and why we're here. And a lot of us still don't know that. There's many of us that do. And so we're on that next level, that next stage, that next season. But some of us still don't know. But for all of us, it's about energy. Energy is everything. We all have it and we all need it. But we haven't been taught how to hold it and use it. That's what we haven't been told. Energy flows where your focus goes. And it can either take you to heightened states of energy or it can bring you lower states of energy. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch the news. It can get you depressed and full of fear. And so I know what I need to know. I have other ways of doing it, but I don't just sit in front of the television watching the news. The news they only give you bad news. Isn't that something? How that it's hard to find good news and there's good things going on in the world, but it's so much what they call bad news going on, and they fill you up with all of that. So that's the first thing I want to do, is be aware that your energy flows where your focus goes. And so you want to pay attention to where or what you're focusing on. Your energy will move you from where you are to where you want to be. It will also do the opposite. If you're focusing on something that's causing you to be fearful or sad or even depressed, you won't be able to go anywhere because you won't be able to execute. You won't be able to do anything. But when it's high, it can take you to new realms of energy and consciousness, and you impact others positively as well. Now, we are definitely in a time that we need to be able to do that. And we're in a transformational period. And so we've got to choose to be a part of that. We stand on the shoulders of ancestors who's gone before us, and we can do what they did and even more. Now, let's talk about beliefs and values and how they control everything we do, every action we take or don't take. You know, some of the things we say is I'll try to do better. Well, try has an inherent failure in it. You're not going to exceed trying anything. But if you focus on some things that you want, you can actually achieve them. Success, love, joy, peace, adventure, security, passion, freedom. You can achieve all of that, but you have to have high energy so that it will move you to do what is required of you. Direction determines destiny. You got to know where you're going. But here's a few things I want to tell you that we have to change, because some things, and I'm talking about beliefs now, beliefs and values are somebody else's. Here's a couple of things that we were told. Life is a and then you die. What about that? Women are manipulators and men are jerks. Life is a gift. Life is sacred. Life is a party. Seek and you shall find. Beliefs control everything in your life. And so you have to be conscious of what those beliefs are and where they came from. Let me tell you one that was told to me and many of my friends in my age. If you make a mistake, you're going to have to lay in that bed. Oh my God. People were scared to even make decisions for fear it wasn't the right one. But let me tell you, my broker sent me to all the office, to a seminar one day. And he said he was talking about these values and beliefs that we were told and grew up with. And here's the one that he said that I was so grateful for. And that was just it. We've been said that if you make a mistake, you got to lie in the bed. But he said you can get up and make that bed over again. Oh my God. I was so grateful to hear that. It changed my whole idea about being afraid to make the wrong move or the wrong step or turning the wrong way. I was so fearful of suppose I don't do this wrong, so I would do nothing. And I know a lot of us are stuck there too. We're so afraid that we're going to do the wrong thing and we do nothing. And that's what I did. I did nothing for years for fear I would do the wrong thing. But once you're clear that you are individual expression of all that is, and that what you focus expands, it means that you will expand out to a greater expression of the all that is. And you also can ask. You can say to your own inner being, your intuition, your higher knowing, whatever you call it, God or universe or whatever, you can also ask, is this something I should do? That's one of the reasons why I say, love, show me the way. You can ask, and it will answer for you. Beliefs and values control everything that we do, but too often, they're not our beliefs. So we want to walk into what is powerful, not what is fearful. So let me tell you a story about what energy can do. As I mentioned to you a few days ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, we were with Tony virtually, and we had a board that we had to break. It's one of the things that he's been doing for years, but it was all in person. And obviously, we were virtual. So he had sent us the board that had to be broken in the mail. And of course, I'd never experienced this in person or virtually. But what I know is that I didn't know how I was going to make that happen. So after explaining it to us, we had to raise our energy. We had to raise our energy because where your focus goes, your energy will flow. And so we had to know and believe and trust that we could break this board. One of the things he had us do is to write on the front of it, what were we breaking through? And on the other side, what were you breaking through to? What was the change? What was the transformation? And so I sat with it. While I was thinking, what do I want to break through? And so to make a long story short, we spent time. We went time, and I can feel it right now while I'm sharing it with you. We spent time raising our energy, elevating ourselves so that this could be possible. Telling ourselves we could do it, and knowing that we were with that particular route, about 65,000 people virtually. Now, you don't need 65,000 people with you when you're doing something, but just to know that we were part of a community, and that's what I'm speaking to you when I say that we have the ancestors that are with us that will help us to achieve what we need to do and more. Because we have someone that did it already. You know, they have many stories about the people that broke the first mile at a certain speed, and it wasn't long until after there were so many that broke that and so many broke that, because you just need the first one to do it, and then there's belief, and then there's energy that you can do it as well. So here I am, have written down on the board what I want to break through and what I want to break through too. And at this time, we're standing up, bringing our energy up, so the energy goes from the top of our head to our feet, letting that energy come in and out with our breath. We were breathing, raising the energy within our own physical being and connecting to source simultaneously. And then he gave us the instructions on how to put our hand on it, not to use our side of our hand, but to use the bottom of our hand, not our palm, not our fingers, but just the bottom. And so as we're doing this and I'm breathing, and I know that 65,000 other people are breathing, you know, he turns the music on and it elevates us as well. I don't know that you guys know this, but music is energy. And it's a connecting force between all of us as well. And so what I want to say is that after standing there so many minutes, and I will tell you I lost track, but I would guess it was somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, just practicing on how I was going to hit the board. Just practicing, just seeing the energy, feeling the energy coming between my arm and my hand, feeling the energy between the left hand and the right hand, feeling the energy and knowing that it was possible and that I was going to do it. Not try, but I was going to do it. And after doing this for 15 or 20 minutes, when he told us to hit the board and break it, I did not even feel it. I only saw the board break and fall on the ground, and I was in tears because the energy had been high enough that I was able to achieve it. And do you know what that did? It actually transformed me to know that any other difficult thing that I had to do, that I could break through and do that as well. I can feel that energy again, and it will always be with me, because when you do something like that, it remains in your body. You can always call it forth. That's one of the reasons why with football players, as well as other athletes, they do meditations before they go out and play. And they see them doing what they're going to do out there on the field or whatever they're doing, and they're able to achieve it. And so I want to tell you that you have this same energy within you. That energy is neither created nor destroyed, and it can move you from where you are to where you want to be. And so I just want to encourage you and inspire you to be the best and the highest you can be. Don't be lazy, people. You know, I know you might be some of those people looking at television. You might be some of those that are scared. Turn the television off and get with yourself and all that is. Maybe even get with some friends that believe the same that you and want to do and achieve the same you want to do. And be encouraged and hold each other up to know that we are powerful and more powerful than we even know. And that it is time for the women to come forward, because we need to come forward in love. We need to come forward in transformational power. We need to come forward so that we can heal the planet and each other. We need to come forward as a divine feminine to love, to live, to give, to transform, so that we can continue on. Because after winter, there is a spring. And some of us might not be around here so much more, but for the new generations that are coming in their spring. I have a friend that passed away about 4 weeks ago, and her granddaughter was born a week ago. And so as we go out, others come in, and what we do now makes a difference, and we can leave a legacy for them that they can say, oh, that's what she did. I can do that and more. So I just want to encourage you, inspire you. From the last week, we said, why are you here? You are here. You have a purpose. You're not an accident. And I wanted to give you a few more steps as to how you come to know what it is and to walk through it. Whether you're in your spring, your summer, your fall, or your winter, we're all here for purpose. And as we come together in energy, we can inspire, encourage, and hold each other to do and to be what we came to do and be. So from here, I want to give thanks for every last one of you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for listening to me. And just know that love will always show us the way. All you have to do is ask. Love, show me the way. Until the next time, I love you. I appreciate you. I always will. You take care. Peace and blessings. Until the next time.